From the KWQC Broadcast Center in Davenport, Iowa, this is live coverage of the Quad City Times Big 7. This special broadcast is sponsored by John Deere.
All right, the national anthem just starting to wrap up here on the 2023 edition of the Quad City Times Big 7. Runners are all lined up. They're geared up, ready to go. And we're ready for an exciting race. Of course, you can see the Beat the Elite runners here starting to get ready as well, because as soon as that gun goes off, they're going to have to start racing back up those hills coming up Kirkwood, and they'll see the elite runners coming down there very quickly. So here's a live look there at the drone. Aerial view presented by Novelis. All right, you can see a nice calm morning there on Brady Street at the moment. Not going to look like that here in about 2-3 minutes.
A welcome cloud cover has joined us for the 49th running of the Quad City Times Big 7 road race. After yesterday and the day before's very oppressive heat and humidity, the storm came through last night. Hope everyone was safe last night. I know Michelle Joring was at the race warehouse at as late as 11 o'clock last night. I know some of the signage along the river had gone down. They had to reposition it after the storm, so they've been really working feverishly to put this great race course back in form for this morning's race.
Yeah, she was there till 11 last night, and they were up and met at 3 this morning.
Right, exactly. so this is rough work. And the crowds are really gathering around Brady and looking down the hill, anxiously awaiting the start of this competition.
Yeah, just outside our studio here, 805 Brady Street, we have several people in the middle of the street taking pictures down there as the national anthem is now wrapped up. You can see the elite runners now getting there into position. Once this gun goes off, we're almost going to feel like an earthquake here with all the feet pounding on the Brady Street Hill.
We've got 4 past champions in this race, 2 men, 2 women. Leonard Career, Colorado Springs, member of the world-class athlete program at the U.S. Army. He won it in 2013, 2015, and 2021. Was second last year.
Yes.
Sam Chalanga was, I think, on the podium last year, but the winner in 2017. Caroline Rotich is 2011 champion, and Alefin Tilyamuk, who is one of the athletes also who has a connection with the Iowa from college, was our 2017 champion. So 2 men and 2 women have been past champions here before. And as I said, we have Iowa College connections. Annie Frisbee was an Iowa State runner. Alefin Tilyamuk began at Iowa State before transferring over to Wichita State. Cassie Parker went to Loras in Dubuque before going to Iowa State. And Diane Curry was a University of Iowa runner herself. So great connections for some of these elite athletes.
Yeah, we certainly do. And as Cassie Parker there from Loras, she's the Division III national record holder in the 3,000, 5,000, and 10,000 meter races. So we have some talent in this field. All right, the gun is up as the color guard is now pushing their way up Brady Street. Runners getting ready as the gun is going up.
And this is very traditional. This color guard with motorcycles come roaring up Brady Street.
And here they go. They are off as the 2023 running of the Quad City Times Big 7 is underway on an exciting overcast morning. 71 degrees here at race time. Relative humidity, 93%. That's the highest since 1992. But again, as the dew point has come down, it's feeling a little more comfortable. But we're going out in a hurry here, of course, as they're making their way up Brady Street Hill. And we have fans lined up all the way to Kirkwood.
There's always a hard charger that goes out in front of the professionals, but it shakes out pretty quickly. On the outside on the left in the blue is Reed Buchanan. I know him because he's a San Diego resident.
Oh, so he's your neighbor then.
Although he comes from Kansas, he's the best with us.
All right, and here's a look at Beat the Elite as well. Both underway there. As remember, they had a little over a 3-mile head start there for both Nathan and Kelly. So as you take a look at the lead pack there, looks like you got Frank Laura, who was a runner-up a couple of years ago, as he was led the pack before Leonard passed him down the stretch there.
Broomfield, Colorado's Frank Laura, actually from Houston, Texas. Furman grad, born in Mexico, moved to Houston at age 5, second at the Bix in 2021. He led the entire race and just was barely outkicked by Leonard Career down 3rd Street.
And that's where that experience came in, because that was Frank's first time running the Bix.
Yeah, Frank Laura's MO is a hard-charging front runner. He must not have a lot of confidence in his finish, so he's got to take the kick out of those other athletes as he goes through those first miles. And now they're going to go right past our location.
And here comes
I'm going to turn around and get my own little picture.
All right, they're making their way up Brady Street. We're just a little under 2 minutes into the race as they're about to make their way past the Palmer Chiropractic Bridge. Of course, in order to qualify as an elite runner here on the women's side, you have to run a 10K of 38 minutes or less. Men's side, you have to run a 10K of 33 minutes or less. So it shows you the type of pace that they're running. But as you mentioned, their first mile typically on this course is going to be about a minute slower than their second mile. And that's because we're coming up this very steep incline here on Brady Street Hill. You make the top, you turn down Kirkwood Boulevard, and then it's all downhill there as you head towards Jersey Ridge and the East Village of Davenport.
Now, on the left in the white top over the orange shorts, I think that's Izai Rodriguez out of Oklahoma State University. That's their OSU colors. Now, he's supposed to be wearing their bid number 55, but that's a number 51. But Jacob Clems from the Hanson's Brooks Distance Project was wearing 51, but he's a dropout. He didn't drop out, but somehow Izai got that bib. And you can see how well bunched that pack is. Frank and Izai might be leading technically, but they're not pushing. They're not driving the pace right now. And they're just sitting in, and the rest of that elite athlete crowd is right there with them. That's Leonard Career, number 3 with the U.S. Army outfit on the farther right-hand side of the screen. Number 11, Bia Simbasa from Flagstaff, Arizona. He also went to Iowa Central Community College before going to the University of Oklahoma and becoming a Sooner, so that's another Iowa connection. He's Ethiopian born. He's number 11, big tall guy in the blue outfit right behind the right shoulder of Leonard Career, number 3. So all the favorites are just tucked right in there and just sort of holding their fire and letting this race play out a little bit.
All right, of course, that's the elite men's side. On the women's side, who's a couple of names that we need to watch? I know we got a couple of former winners. Of course, Caroline Rotich is routinely on the podium here. But is there a couple other names that we need to be watching for here as they continue their way up Brady Street Hill?
Edna Kurgat. She's second in the USA Track and Field Road Tour point standing right now. She's the reigning U.S. cross-country champion, and she was 18th in the World Championships. She was 6th at the National Track Championships at 10,000 meters, and is somebody that we have to watch. She's from Colorado Springs as well. Caroline Rotich is now living in Colorado Springs and is a U.S. citizen, Kenyan-born. And Caroline has been the winner of BICS in 2011, second in 2012, third in 2013, third in 2015, second in 2022. So Caroline I talked to yesterday at the Meet the Elite luncheon over at St. Ambrose, and she says, I don't want to lie to you. I'm probably not as fit as I was last year, but I do know this course. I love this race, and so sometimes your love of an event sort of gives you more energy than your fitness would incline one to think.
All right, now they've made their way down onto Kirkwood Boulevard. We're approaching 5 minutes. Again, last year the split was about 5:20, so we're coming up on about the 1 mile mark. Of course, we'll get those times for you here as they roll in, but that lead pack continuing to kind of set the pace there early on 2023 running here of our BICS 7 road race.